So changes in how we do work adds a further layer of complexity in terms of how power relations play out in paid employment. So, for example, job security is now much a thing of the past. People don't tend to have a job for life, and in cultures of austerity, that might lend itself to power abuse. Alongside this, we've seen a rise in digital technologies which have enabled flexible ways of working. And what we see now is that there is an increased blurring of professional and personal identities, so it's less clear when people are on and off the job. This might make it more difficult for people to seek out or know when to seek out legal redress for sexual harassment. These work changes are occurring in highly sexualised cultural contexts. So although the 21st century has seen an increased range of new and empowered positions for girls to take up, it's also the case that being attractive and sexy are expectations that are built into some working environments. So similarly, while social media can act as spaces for doing kind of more autonomous and empowered meanings of girl and womanhood, it's also the case that they can act as sites of body surveillance. So what we also see is an increased emphasis on visual imperatives around being hot and sexy. And this adds a layer of complexity when young girls and women are trying to build their identities both on and offline. So 21st century living presents new challenges and changes for understanding the conditions that give rise to sexual harassment. But the increases in gender equality also pave the way for new challenges to be made. And this, I think, can be seen in the ways in which sexual harassers have been held to account in much of the reporting of cases this year. And this contrasts with how it was reported, say, for example, in the 1990s, where sexual harassment was variously sexed up or understood as a blip in the dating process. So when high-profile cases perpetuate the notion that sexual harassers are naturally sexually predatory, we might lose sight of how femininity and masculinity become relevant to everyone when we're trying to make sense of ourselves in 21st century life. And importantly, what we need to make sure of is that we don't reduce the space where we can hear stories that don't conform to typical patterns of sexual predators and most often young female victims.
Get more from the Open University. Check out the links on screen now.